I'd like to take you through a quick editing exercise to work on some skills that we haven't yet focused on so much in the semester and which will be quizzed in the next AP quiz next week, or this week, I should say. And that is to write more concise, to get rid of unnecessary wording, repetitions, maybe prepositions or transitions, or just too many words in general. So we'll begin with a text that is a short news story, just gets to the point and gives some basic facts. But if you look at this original wording, there's really quite a few things that we could clean up. So I'll just give you some examples. As we begin learning about the lead, next week we'll talk about how we don't want to have names that are not prominent in the lead. So that is one first thing that we'll do is we'll get rid of the woman's name from the lead. But then a woman named reads a little bit weird. Another thing that we could do is to take the location to add it like an adjective. A Rochester Hills woman, a Rochester Hills, Michigan woman. We know from AP Style Guidebook that we do not abbreviate the state of Michigan in the story text. So a Rochester Hills, Michigan woman has, without named, has up until December 8th. That reads a little bit wordy, so let's get rid of up. December 8th, we want to put in AP Style. So a woman has until December 8th to clear up her house of rotten oranges that have gone bad. Clear her house is probably a little more straightforward. We had a lingering comma there. To clear her house of rotten oranges, obviously they have gone bad. Cobwebs, vehicle parts, musty newspapers, and a year's worth of dirty dishes that obviously have not been washed. So if you look at this lead now, much cleaner, much tighter, and much more to the point. Now that we gave the name in the second paragraph, we can just write the age in AP Style with just the number between commas. Shirley in Hall 45 must remove overgrown weeds in her yard and other debris from her yard. So we have the repetition there. We can get rid of the first one, weeds and other debris from her yard. And then we have more wordiness, which is located in the 700 block of Walton Boulevard. Can read a little bit simpler, her yard on the 700 block of Walton Boulevard. We do not need to abbreviate Boulevard since this is not an exact address. We do want to keep the attribution after we gave some facts. Oakland County Circuit Judge Randall Wilkerson sent on Wednesday is proper attribution style. If she fails to comply with the order which Judge Randall Wilkerson made on Wednesday, this is clearly unnecessary, so we could delete the repetition. And even with the order, since obviously she fails to comply, but now we're missing a comma, so we want to add that in there. If she fails to comply, the city will bring in work crews and send Hall the bill for the work the crews have done. Again, we have a little bit of repetition over here. Send Hall the bill is probably sufficient. The city has been trying to persuade Hall to sort through her mess since the year of 1988. The first thing we notice is the unnecessary year of. And then if we're looking at AP Style, we have to have capitalization of the title coming after the name. The city has been trying to persuade Hall to sort through her mess. You can make the argument that this is pretty inflammatory language to call it her mess. And maybe a wording such as the city has been trying to work with Hall might be preferred. Something like that. Again, much cleaner sentence. If we go to the last one, Hall, a woman who is diagnosed with chronic depression, is a very sensitive topic as well. So we can make the assumption as we're editing that she is the one that said that she is diagnosed with chronic depression. You can't just say someone has chronic depression without attributing that. And if you attribute that to a doctor, obviously that would be problematic. Or police might let that slip, or a neighbor might say that, but you really need to attribute the information so it doesn't sound like you're making the assessment. So Hall said she's diagnosed with chronic depression, and now we need to split this into two sentences because it doesn't ring as well without it. It sounds too long. She said the city is harassing her and that the stress that the city has caused by harassing her, now that's clearly wordy, that the stress has prevented her from making progress or any progress. She said the city is harassing her and the stress has prevented her from making any progress. Much cleaner, much tighter. If you compare the original version with what we ended up editing, again, you can note that it's much shorter, much more to the point. It gets the same facts across without adding unnecessary wording.